We want China to be what they pretend they are. We want China to be a utopian country for the people of China, and it simply isn't.
He wants China to be what China is claiming to be. China isn't claiming anything. China is showing us. We can all see China's achievements. It's clear to see. This guy is basically calling China a con man, a used car salesman that will sell you a piece of shit while claiming it's the best. That's what this guy is basically saying. Does China have issues? All countries have issues, especially the USA, but I don't see him complaining one bit about the USA and the huge problems it has. Could you imagine if it was China that was supporting a genocide in the Middle East, what this guy would be saying? Anyways, I don't know exactly what he did in China and why he's in the USA now. But I personally would never, ever disrespect China in this way. No matter what has happened to me in China, and a lot has happened, but I would never, ever disrespect China the way this guy has.
What's good, y'all? So I know I get a lot of comments from angry Americans who never really get the chance to travel. But now I think it's time for me to just put the facts right in front of you. In China, rent is low. The quality of the food is good and cheap. Transportation is top notch and is still affordable. The crime rates are very low. Business opportunities are phenomenal because you're near any type of factory that can provide you any product that you need. If Americans knew their tax laws, they would know that they can make up to $126,000 per year tax-free if they live abroad for over, I believe, 300 and something days. Tax-free. So yes, you can work in China, make $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month, tax exclusion. And people say, oh, but if you have an American passport, they can tax you anywhere. Obviously, you don't know about your tax laws, but anyway, the salaries are good. It's damn near the same as in America. Everything is cheap. Transportation, your rent is low. Sometimes you don't even have to cover your own apartment. No credit checks, good healthcare. If you work for a company, healthcare is provided. This is where it gets interesting. Let's talk about the United States of America. But look, this is something that y'all can't deny. Rent is high. Everybody's complaining about rent. Every time I eat out, I get bloated. There's too much chemicals in the food. High expenses because if you own a car, 9 times out of 10, it's not paid off. You're probably in debt. You have to pay off your loan. You have to pay your insurance. You have to pay for gas, service fees, maintenance fees, expenses, bro. It's not even transportation at this point. It's another bill. I don't need to talk about crime. It was just a mass shooting. No opportunities. Either you work or you're pretty much homeless, or you go to school and then you end up in debt. High taxes. Yeah, you might make a good salary. You might have a good salary, but after taxes, it's not even worth it. Credit checks. Of course, some people can't even buy the stuff they need because they don't have a certain credit score, which is a scam anyway. But anyway, bad healthcare. I don't need to talk about that. But yeah. This is America. This is China. And if you're tired of all of this and you want this, DM me on Instagram. I got
60% of the American public is about to lose everything they have. People living paycheck to paycheck are about to go broke. The GDP numbers came in yesterday, and of course the economy receded, which I predicted 2 months ago, and people laughed. Mark my words, the second quarter is going to be far worse.
Deutsche Bank just released a report that said that the U.S. economy is basically being held together with toothpicks, scotch tape, and AI investments right now. And when the bubble pops, it is going to be devastating. AI has always been snake oil, at least in this current iteration. If you're in it, if you're in tech and you're working in it, you gotta get out. Even if for your own moral fortitude.
Yeah, so basically, the report on the economy was dropped yesterday, and basically the U.S. economy is in shambles. It's fucked. And Deutsche Bank released their own U.S. economic report, and it shows that the United States economy is done. It is held literally only by investments in AI like Oracle and OpenAI and ChatGPT and whatnot. No imports, no exports, no agriculture. Like U.S. economy right now is literally surviving on AI, and we know that she's going to pop at some point. That maybe in the next 6 months to a year, the AI is going to get so good they're going to decide we don't need half this. It's going to pop, and when it pops, in my opinion, that is when the dollar is going to fucking crash. Because right now, the dollar has lost 11% of its value. That means what you could buy in January with $100 overseas, you can living in America buying it online, you cannot buy that same shit with $100. It would literally cost you a whole lot more. And which brings me, Kevin Samuels was talking about at some point we're going to have to start doing marriage of convenience, where it's like it's not love. We need two people to be able to survive. And I knew this shit. I remember making a video. I said, look, man, I'm down for a fake relationship. When I saw that some couple was making 30 grand a piece each month, I'm like, holy shit. I absolutely, for $30,000 a month, I would absolutely fake a fucking relationship. I came up here, I posted about this shit. A lot of people were commenting, thought it was a joke. A few ladies responded. I responded back. Nobody responded, but they thought it was a joke. I would have literally deleted my Instagram, all my videos on Instagram, turned that shit into a couple's account, moved my Instagram content to YouTube. Fuck, everyone thought I was joking. At least the sisters did. You know who did not think I was joking? White girls. I swear to God, I wish I could show you out the DMs. So you know how many white girls were like, yo, I'm down to do the couple's content.
After reading all this about America, I don't admire a thing, zero, about that country, because it runs on credit. People even go for concerts using credit. Bruh, what kind of brainwashing has happened here? Listen, in China, families save 30 to 40% of their income, which is very far from the 7% Americans save. In fact, Americans don't save because they run on credit. They have to pay back the credit they're already using. People use credit to buy groceries. People use credit to buy a house. People use credit to own a phone. People use credit for everything. So I was asking myself, so me who lives here and I have never had credit in America, what's my score? Is it zero? And they're telling me, no. It just means you will not be able to own anything because they cannot trust you because you don't have a credit score. So it doesn't matter. You have to get credit because that is the system. That is the system. But bro, this system is so fucking brainwashed. And when I read how it started, and I'm like, wow, everybody else is equally brainwashed. Because these guys after post-World War, remember America is focused on profit maximization. They don't care about you guys. That's why I asked myself, instead of introducing credit, why didn't they make healthcare, education, everything accessible? Why didn't they just subsidize and make them cheaper? Instead of having to force people to take on credit where they are going to be paying their whole life. Guys, I just saw a TikTok of this girl who was saying she just completed her undergraduate and she's in debt of over $97,000. So instead of the government subsidizing their services, or let's make education cheap, let's make healthcare cheap, they make it accessible in credit. So you will forever be in debt of the system. In China, the reverse is the difference. The reverse is true. These guys save everything they have invested in Africa. I will bring you another comparison because America talks about globalization, but everything they are involved in is either military, McDonald's, Coca-Cola. They don't come here to construct hospitals. They don't come here to help with roads. They don't come here to provide better water and sanitation. They don't, because theirs is not a system that supports humanity. It's a system that focuses on a few to generate as much profit and as much money as they can. What the fuck? Big guys. What?
Y'all hear that? Crime. Y'all smell that? Bills.
It is September 27th, and I want to give you an update on the economy. Unemployment is as high as 6% in some states. The average is 4.3% and rising. Inflation is at 2.9%. We are projected to lose about $40 billion in agriculture just in 2025. Tourism is plummeting. We are right now expected to lose $30 billion just in 2025 alone in tourism. A Detroit manufacturer that took 3 years to plan a plant for $50 million just scrapped that. The South Korean Hyundai plant in Georgia is on pause. That was $21 billion. Farmers are absolutely begging for bailout. Farm bankruptcies right now are up 13% at 361 farm bankruptcies this year alone. Tariffs are a tax that brings no value to anyone other than the person collecting the tax. 1 million people are going to be cut from Medicaid. What that means is catastrophe for healthcare workers, for rural hospitals already closed, for people in old folks' homes. Right now on the chopping block is 28 million Americans who use the Affordable Care Act, people who are underemployed, self-employed, don't work full-time because they can't get it, students, anybody who needs health care. 28 million Americans might have an increase of 75%, and Trump is golfing this weekend. Want to remind you that Republicans control the House, the Senate, the presidency, and let's just say it, the Supreme Court, and Trump is golfing this weekend. Please get on the phone.
The purpose for this compilation wasn't to show you which country is doing perfectly well and which country is running on credit and doing tremendously bad. People will go bankrupt. But the issue that I'm having right here is, and it's what saddens me, is to see how a country that has sold to the world an idea of success that is not real. That's a claim, that's the word that was used on China, that China is claiming to be this. So a country that is running on credits and selling to the world this idea of success, of position, of things they have. How many people left their country because they saw every American moving around with a car, holding an iPhone? I shared a video right here of an American who believed that his iPhones were always free because he could just go with his credit card and purchase. But he didn't know that he is paying off his debt with his life. Every morning he has to wake up very early, follow these corporate jobs and whatever. But there are things that Americans think they're normal in this life, but they are not. And I'm happy that Africans are beginning to wake up to this reality, because so many people have crossed borders, have left everything they have to move to America, and they have risked so many things. They have put in their life into risk. They have got into relationships that are despicable, because they want to live that life. But do you see where they're ending up? Have you seen videos of Africans who have gone to find these old white men who are rich and who end up miserable? An American who is down for a fake relationship, and they're ready so that they can make a living, so that they can earn a living. We are not speaking about perfection here, but there are countries that are doing well with the little they have, because they are not living in illusion, they're living in reality. I have the cash. This system makes it possible for me to touch something. I have the cash in my hand, and that's what I'm using to do what I'm supposed to do, and earn a living and live comfortably.
This sounds really weird, but in China, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you don't have to worry about housing or food. If you have a labor job, like I give you an example, I was getting a pedicure and a massage on my legs, and the guy really wanted to just chat me up. He was same age as me. He was like, this is hard labor, but I make a living, I got kids, I support the family. I'm like, that's sweet. And he was telling me like, yeah, the company, it's like a franchise. Imagine like kind of like anyways, any like hair salon that's franchised in America, right? He works there, and he's like, yeah, they cover housing and food. I was like, amazing. So like, you don't have to ever worry about housing and food, like lunch, breakfast, and dinner. Yeah, that's the difference. I think in US and Canada, we can get a job, but like it's very difficult for us to afford rent, let alone purchase a home. But in China, I noticed like doesn't matter what job you have, you can afford a home, and you can definitely afford like going out to eat. That's another topic, by the way. Like going out to eat in China is like ridiculous cheap relative to your income.
Hi guys, it's Hui from China. How does a charming woman like me, jobless and single and 30 years old, spend my day? In my last video, a lot of people ask me how I manage life without a job. So I want to tell you guys, I don't have to pay rent since I live in my parents' house. Second, I receive unemployment benefits from the government, around 2,000 yuan each month. Third, I have some savings, which allows me to travel and do some shopping. Oh yeah, pretty much. Today our destination is Tea Mountain. My brother. Hi. But of course, I know those money won't last forever. That's also why I keep making videos. I hope I can learn a bit from them. Okay guys, we're here. Wow, it's quite beautiful. Wow. That's my brother and his wife. So that's the Tea Mountain we're going. 糟糕了，裤子穿反了，我才发现。My hometown Mount Omei is truly beautiful. It's famous for producing green tea, so today we're here hiking the tea fields. Guys, it's so beautiful. Oh my god. Oh my god, look. Oh, they're gonna cook here. After a hike, we went to a farmhouse restaurant for a meal. We're gonna eat in such a beautiful countryside view. Most important thing is, I am optimistic. No matter I have a job or not, I still hope my videos can bring you guys positive energy. Then we heard there's a newly opened luxury villa hotel nearby, so we went in to take a look. I definitely need to make money so that I can come and enjoy lying around, haha. After that, we were tired, so we went home. Hope you guys like my content.